There we go. One of my besties, Megan, officially achieved Emerald rank today. So that was pretty cool for her because she just started just a few weeks ago. And Macy's on here. She achieved Ruby, which is a pretty elusive rank. It's one of those that's kind of difficult to achieve. And so she did it. She made it happen. So congratulations to her. And what else was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But does anyone else have anything they want to share? Or it doesn't have to be ranks or success club. It could be you had your first conversation, or anyone want to shout out anyone on their team, their personal team?
We've got a newbie on the call, Miss Chelsea. You can't see her face. She doesn't have the video on, but she is my coach, Alana's coach.
Cool. Welcome, Chelsea. Anybody else want to say anything? We good?
Thank you.
Shelby?
I mean, I don't have any rank advancements this week, but I mean, my team's been killing it.
Oh, totally.
Positive praise.
Totally. You guys are starting week 3 of 1-star qual, right? So
yes, we are.
That's a big deal. That's awesome.
Yes, we are.
Good deal. Well, I am super proud of y'all. Anybody else want to say anything? Got a good amount of gals on here tonight. All right. Well, I put up a poll in the group yesterday in the Facebook page, and I look like a floating head right now. Let me tone that neck down a little bit. And the most common thing here, and I know the most common thing that I talk to a lot of you about, is having conversations. And I've struggled with teaching people how to have conversations because it's one of those things that I feel it comes a little bit more naturally for me. But I wanted to talk about conversations and just different things like that, and asking good questions, and not just if someone brings up an objection to you, not just being like, oh, okay, well, maybe next time, but maybe it's an objection that you guys can actually talk through. And even if it's not them ending up enrolling with you right then and there, it could be something that maybe next month they decide to do because you took time to talk to them and listen to them, and they were heard. So the biggest thing I want to say is to nix the word vomit. All right. And it's so funny because I'm the type that I like to talk, but I've had to learn for some situations, you kind of just have to get to the point. And, I've switched up my verbiage for my invites over the last month. I used to say the same stuff over and over, and I've even gotten to where I've shortened my, my invite to people just kind of, okay, here, let's get to the point. I appreciate you following my journey type of thing. So I want to share with you guys, let me share this presentation real quick. It's not a legit presentation, it's whatever, but I want y'all to see it. And feel free to ask questions in the chat. This was a specific training I did, I think a while back. It was about asking good questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and click through here. Guys, your goal is to get the person on the other side of that phone to talk. Because you need to learn a little bit about them to be able to provide solutions for them. Because if you don't know that they cannot have any dairy, for example, then you may go off and enroll them in a challenge pack that is the whey option for Shakeology, when really they need it vegan, and maybe they just didn't pay attention. So it's super important to get your people to talk. You should be talking, I would say maybe 2/3 of the time. They need to be talking a bulk of the time, because it's so important for you to get to know them, build a relationship, establish a connection, because that is what helps me come back with these quick responses that seem so seamless. for some of you that have seen the way I've responded to people, it's because I took a little bit to get to know them, and I thought through the process. I paid attention to key terms or keywords that they used, and I used that to my advantage. And I don't mean that in a sleazy way. I'm just saying, like, I kind of used it to where I could come back with a response that made sense. All right. So, let's see, what makes a question good? So, like I said, I like to talk, but just because people like to talk doesn't mean that they're always great at asking questions. So, something that we have to, think about is, what do I have here? Hang on a second. Something just popped up. Okay. You want to ask a question that's really going to provoke thought, provoke emotion, really get them to talk. And so I'm sure you guys, if you've ever been in sales, you've heard of the term open-ended questions. Well, while I don't consider this a salesy business, and I don't want you guys to be salesmen, you still have to ask good questions. And to me, a good question is one that's open-ended, especially if you're just getting into the conversation with them. Now, there's a time and place for a proper closed-end question, which a closed-end question is just one that triggers a yes or a no, just a simple answer. Like, okay, Krista, do you want chocolate or vanilla Shakeology? That's a yes or no question. Right? But when you're inviting them and you're just starting out into the conversation, you've got to ask good questions. So that should lead me into this next. This is my sample invite. I actually just tweaked this before we got on here. So this is typically how I invite people. So as you see, of course, it looks like a lot, but it's just because the text is huge. But I say, hey, Brittany, it really means a lot to have you following my journey, because I want them to know I appreciate them following along. I'm not sure if you've seen, but I have enrollment open for my online wellness community. I would love to have your positive energy a part of it. Would you be interested in learning more about it all? Super simple, right? But I want to point out a couple of things that's in this invite. So I don't, where'd it go? Okay. So I say, I'm not sure if you've seen, but I have enrollment open for my online wellness community. I can say that because I post about my online wellness community all the time. Like there's credibility behind the invite there. You know what I'm saying? Because if I never post about my group and I'm just strictly posting like my product or my workouts, they may not know that I'm a coach. They may not have any idea that I run an online group. Now, I prefer to call mine an online wellness community because I feel like it's something just different. But some of my girls call it a boot camp. That's their boot camp group, or it's an accountability group, or whatever you want to call it. Just call it something and whatever feels good to you. I did also include, I would love to have your positive energy a part of it. However, I do have to change that up often. If I don't know if they're positive, if they don't display like that on their feed, maybe it's someone that I've connected with because they like the same, beer I drink or whatever it is. Maybe I want to have your fun vibe over there or something like that. So sometimes I do have to tweak this. Now, if I don't know anything about this person, if they don't really display any positivity or any funness or anything like that, then I just simply say, I would love to have you a part of it. Super easy. And then I end it with an open-ended question, which is, would you be interested in learning more about it all? And think about this. Think about the difference. So I say, would you be interested in learning more about it versus do you want more information? Think about that. The way that you ask that is, would you be interested? That puts a ball back into their court and forces a response. But if I just say, do you want more information? It kind of just leaves me hanging. And so therefore it's either I don't have to answer you or no, I don't want any more information. I don't want any information. But if I say, would you, sometimes it may provoke a response like, oh, I'm not interested. I'm really busy right now. Or, I've got, like, a girl just told me she has physical therapy for 3 more weeks or whatever. So it wasn't that it was an objection per se. It was just, she told me what was going on in her life. And so that gives me permission to be like, oh, I hope that's going well for you. I'm really sorry to hear about your injury that you had. How about I check back in with you in a month or so? That way I'm like, hey, I'm going to be checking back in with you in a month or so. But I know that that's one person that it's like, okay, that could, I could talk to her later, but that's one person that I don't have to really, wrap my mind up with, like constantly following up with her when I know she can't work out at this point in time. All right. But something to think about, when was the last time you even mentioned your accountability group? I know a couple of my coaches on here right now probably want to like smack me because I've told them this so much lately, but it's the truth. Now, I have personally started getting a little more creative with how I'm showing my accountability group. Or the opportunity per se. I have fun little slides that I've made using word art. Oh my gosh, do y'all remember word art back in the day? I meant story art. I'm so sorry. I'm squirrel. I'm all over the place. But there's something called story art that I use on my phone. It's an app that you can make fun little stories with. You can include pictures, you can include verbiage, or you can use Canva. This is actually, this presentation you guys are seeing right now is from Canva. So I didn't create all this. I just switched up some colors and, typed in my stuff, but you can use templates that are already made and just make it your own. But so I can promote that way. I can say what all they get and make it really pretty and fancy. But there are some days where I don't want to blow up my stories. To where they're having to like scroll. I just want to catch their attention. So a way that I've been doing that lately is I've been sharing transformation photos, just one a day, of one of my girls, one of my coaches. That's why I put the transformation photo album in the Coach Family page. They're free to use, by the way. So if anybody puts their transformation photos in there, it's because we're like, hey, go use these. It's totally okay. But excuse me, or I'll use some of my clients. I do ask permission before I post their transformation photo. But to me, if they post in my group a transformation photo, that means I can ask them if they're cool with it, because they've taken that step by just sharing in their group with like 100 and something people in there. So what I like to do is I'll post it. I'll say something like, ready to link arms and do this with us. And then I have a poll, and I just say, like, the poll is like, I'd like more info, or I'm nervous, or I've got questions, or maybe you use the quiz option on stories, on Instagram stories instead, and you have like different answers. Maybe it's like, I'm afraid I won't commit, or I'm hesitant, or I'd like to do it, or whatever it may be. But just getting creative. Like, you don't have to have this beautiful, slideshow inviting them to the opportunity, when it's like, you could just simply show a transformation. Sometimes I get more feedback on that than I do my pretty slideshows. So it's just all about switching it up. But if you're not talking about your online wellness communities, your groups, whatever it may be, start doing that ASAP. Because I know sometimes it's like, well, if they see it over and over, they're going to be annoyed. No, if they see it over and over, they have two options. If they're annoyed, there's a little unfollow button that they could do. Or two, it's going to be that compound effect where they're constantly seeing it and constantly being reminded, and seeing how much success you've had, as well as the girls in your group, or however you're sharing it, and they're going to want a taste of it too. At some point, they're going to be tired of just watching from the sidelines and want to get in the game with you. So if you're not constantly inviting, whether it's just publicly or not, then you're going to have, slower times. You will. But that's just a little creative way. I know I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's just a creative way that you guys can do it, just on your stories. Just a quick, boom, here's a transformation photo of, Kayla Sykes, and she did this, and 13 weeks are between the photos, or, whatever. And then just put a little poll up, like, would you like to do this with us? Type of thing. All right. What did I put here? I can't see. I know I'm trying to move the screen around. Okay. So if they say, yes, I'd love to learn more, this is when people freak out. They're like, oh gosh, what do I say? What's next? So I've got a few things I want you guys to be mindful of when it comes to replying. This reply is literally the one reply I've used for a year now, maybe longer. Nothing has changed with this one. It's all the same. But here's what I'm highlighting in each paragraph here. I'm sharing what the group entails. So I don't get into products. I don't get into challenge packs, nothing. I need to reel them in with one of the most common things people lack, and that's support. I need to reel them in with, here's what the community entails. All right. So sharing what the group entails. So I've said, I'm like, okay, awesome. Essentially, you'll be added to my private Facebook group. Every day I check in with everyone. We talk about goals. Many challenges are offered for prizes. We post whenever we have done our workout for the day, cheer each other on, share recipes, reach out for support, etc. All right. So like but do you notice a lot of that stuff is what people struggle with? They struggle with, setting goals or being supported by people. We post whenever we've done our workout for the day. That's extra accountability. So to me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to post, or maybe me seeing other people post will help me, get mine done. And then there's also the fun thing about little challenges are offered for prizes. So I know I'm going to be, challenged, or I could potentially win something, and it's just exciting. Sprinkling in the positive vibes, point 2. So down here I say, it's truly amazing having a supportive community of uplifting women all on a similar path. Once we complete a program, we will continue working on our goals together. So I purposely put in there, once we complete a program, I'm like, this isn't just a kumbaya, we are just having fun, which we are, but we're actually following programs, fitness programs with nutrition and all that jazz. So it's a more formal thing. But I let them know once we've done a program, we're going to continue working on these goals together. We're going to continue. It doesn't end. And then lastly, showing that you care about their goals. So now that you've given them the spiel, it's like, okay, so when it comes to health and fitness, what are your goals exactly? All right. So that's what I say, pretty generic. So let's say they don't say, yes, I want to learn more. I've had this plenty of times. I would totally be interested, but I struggle with being motivated to work out. Switch up the ending based on the replying from the potential person. So if this person said this, what types of workouts do you typically do? Like, maybe I'm not ready to talk about goals yet. And it's like, okay, well, what types of workouts do you typically do? I need to find out from them why they're struggling from getting motivated. Because if they hate cardio and that's all they're trying to do is cardio, let me tell you about this lifting program I've got. It sounds like you may benefit more from one of our lifting programs that doesn't incorporate a whole lot of cardio in it. Would you like me to share more about that? Okay. And then the other thing is, I've considered it, but I'm going to start going back to the gym. You look awesome though. I always like to thank them for their kind words because I really appreciate it. We put ourselves out there as coaches. So hearing something like this really means a lot. So I say, thank you for the love, girl. Definitely has been a process, but it helps having the programs and meal plans all laid out for me. Makes it mindless, really. I used to struggle with consistency, and this group has helped me so much with my postpartum journey. I'm not kind of an older response because I am definitely my kids are 3 now, so I don't know if I'm still really postpartum. You guys this. But I will say this, I do still talk about my postpartum journey because when I was 6 months postpartum is when I dove into these programs and stuff, and I've been doing them ever since. So it really did help me in my postpartum journey.
Hey, Courtney, will you mute yourself for me, please?
Okay. So the other part was, if you're wanting to incorporate different workouts with your gym routine, you know where to find me. I have several girls that still go to the gym occasionally, but still doing a program with us. We'd love to have you. So continue planting the seeds, letting them know. A lot of the times people don't think to, when people tell us, oh, I just want to go to the gym, or I just got a gym membership. They can do these workouts at the gym. These workouts are streamable anywhere. So don't let that stop you. And, I personally just invited someone the other day who is showing her fitness journey, starting to share her fitness journey at a Planet Fitness. Like, she's at the gym, but it doesn't mean that she wouldn't be interested in learning more about these programs. Maybe what she's doing there isn't working for her. And so, in fact, I thought she'd make a great coach, so I reached out to her, but it's just like, just because you see people working out at the gym, don't like discount that and just assume like, oh, they would never be interested, because you really never know. All right. But either way, you're continuing to plant the seeds. You're working on growing that garden, because she may want to be at the gym, but she may continue watching you and see, how much you're changing, not just physically, but mentally. And, seeing things like this where you guys are on calls and, working out virtually together, maybe, whatever it may be, and they'll come back. They do. I promise. And then the last little thing is, this is not a one size fits all kind of thing. Know your audience, use their name, be yourself. So how I talk to people is not how I talk to everybody. Maybe this person is a little different. Maybe I don't know this person, or maybe I know this person, and, I know a little bit more about her, so I can maybe be a little bit more, I don't know, upfront with her, and really call her out on her BS that she's trying to tell me, but it all depends on who your audience is. I always encourage you to use their name. I hate when people are like, hey girl, like I say, hey girl all the time, but when it comes to these messages, I want to use your name. So, hey Shelby, hey Jesse, like personalize it a little bit. All right. And just be yourself. Like, how I say things and do things is not natural for everybody. So these were just samples. I do have more verbiage I can share on like the team page, and maybe I'll just share it in a post to where you can copy and paste it and, put it into your notes. Because that's where all of mine are kept. And then you can just have access to it whenever. All right. So that is all I have for, wait, where's the screen thing? I do, oh, nope. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing all your stuff. Okay, you guys are just verifying that for me. Okay, yes, Kirsten, I will post these slides into the team page. No biggie. But I do want to open it up. I know it's only 8:45. But what questions do you guys have? Anybody? No questions. You guys are ready to conquer the world. You feel good talking to people now? Okay. Well, I mean, that's
We
all.
don't even want to talk to you.
Huh?
Just kidding.
What?
It sounds like we don't even want to talk to you.
What'd you say?
I said it sounds like we don't even want to talk to you. We're all
I
crickets
know,
over
like
here.
everyone's like, But yeah, I mean, really, when you're like, if you're growing your following and you're adding people to your network, just start to get to know them. Like, I call them like my Instagram besties. I have like several of them, and I just have gotten to know them, and I show love on their posts and their stories. And so I'm always like talking to people at some point in time. But in fact, I've got a call with a girl after this who we've just been chatting back and forth through stories, and she wanted to learn more about coaching. Hadn't even invited her. We just became Insta besties. And it's just, sometimes it may take a little while. Like it's an investment in people, I feel, because a lot of the times the fear is mutual. All right. So what I mean by that is, your fear of being scared to invite them to join you is equivalent to their fear of reaching out to you for help. People a lot don't want to admit they need help with this type of thing. And so they are just as equally, scared to ask you, or even to vote on that poll that you posted. So it's like we always have to just kind of be the bigger person in the duo and just, ask them, or, if you notice that there's someone that you feel could really benefit from these programs, then just start, talking to them and building a connection with them. So when you do feel a little bit more comfortable, asking them, you'll be ready to rock and roll. And I just lost my train of thought. What was it? I do that a lot. I had a thing I was going to say. Do any of you have anything that's been working for you, or anything you guys want to share about like your conversations?
I will say that the thing on Saturday is a really good idea. I'm not going to say who this is, but they did tell me today. They said it'll be a relief to my anxiety meeting Kayla and everyone in real life before deciding to jump into the program full swing. So I don't know, kind of tagging along on what you just said.
Oh, cool.
Anxiety, and I don't know, I'm not going to say her name, but she wants to like meet y'all in person before jumping into
I love it.
Even though I think she knows you, but I don't know. So fear on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really is. And that is, to me, it speaks volumes if they're, she's willing to actually like come out and like in person, like, and do it in person. So guys that aren't local and don't know what we're talking about, several of us live in Tennessee, and we all live near each other. And so we're doing a group workout in our little downtown area, and just invited anyone and everyone. They don't have to be enrolled with us. It's really just a way to like show that we're all about community, and we just really want to help and get to know each other. And we're going to go have brunch afterwards. And so it's just not this like, hey, I need you're going to come and sign up type of thing. It's just come test out one of our workouts, see what you think, get to know all the babes, and let's go, eat good food afterwards, So if that's something that you guys may want to do, I highly suggest it. We did it back in the summer. It wasn't like super like promoted, but we just went and worked out at a park one day, and people like commented on it, was like, I want to, join you next time. And that looks like fun. And we got props for doing it from other coaches in the network. So it's a cool thing. It really is. And it's just a way to step out of our normal mundane, inviting and talking through social media. It's like, let's get to know each other in person. Let's be besties, So thank you for sharing that, Abby. What you got here? I'm just reading the chat, y'all. Shelby, do you want to say something? Oh, I saw you unmuting yourself. I was like, did you want to say something?
No. Okay. Oh, yeah, earlier, whenever you said if anything's been working.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to reiterate that, you can't just go straight to pricing. Those conversations really make a difference with people. Like, the best way to not come across salesy is to not be salesy. Like, don't just try to go for the kill immediately. Like, the conversations, asking them about their goals, and just being genuinely interested in what's going on in their life. People can tell if you're being genuine or not.
Yeah.
So be genuine and get to know people, and that it just builds more trust. You can't just go straight for, well, here's the challenge pack, so it's just, I was just wanting to just, I second what you said about it.
I'm shocked by this news. No, it's totally like relationship building. Like for me, I feel like I want our team, like I want the culture of this sisterhood of ours to be that we genuinely care, and we are relating or building relationships with people. That's something I'm super passionate about. And so if you come to me and you're like, I'm just not salesy, I can't do this, good, you belong here. Like, you're meant to be with us, because I don't want you to be salesy. Yeah, at some point you're gonna have to talk about price, but it doesn't feel icky when you've already like become kind of best friends with this person because you've gotten to know them. Guys, this girl I was telling y'all about that I'm having a call with after this, I listened to her whole life story. literally through voice memos. She wanted my advice on something. We don't know each other, but we have built a relationship on Instagram, like each other's hype girls. And she trusted me enough to tell me some serious stuff going on with her. And so I'm not saying that you have to be their therapist or anything like that, but guys, sometimes people just need to talk to people and need to be heard. And that is huge when you become that person and they're like, let's say they follow my coach, Ashley Molstad, #1 in the network, but they don't relate to her. They relate to you because you took time to talk to them. And while it may not have initiated a challenge pack like right then and there, sorry, my country came out. It doesn't matter. You're planting the seeds for this amazing garden that you're going to have. It just takes time. This is not a get rich quick type of thing. Like, it does take time. We are here because people need us. And sometimes they're not always ready right off the bat. And you just have to breathe belief in them and just continue to stay by their sides.
Allie, I wanted to say what you said about how that's always what the first thing people want to know. And it is, but what I always say when people are like, yeah, sounds good, what's the cost? I then ask them about their goals. I'll normally say something like, well, there's several different options. We need to figure out which one is going to best meet your goals. And then I ask them about their goals. So it's like, I'm not answering the question and being rude, but I'm still trying to figure out how to move the conversation in a different direction first. And I think that also just makes people feel like you're being genuine and you're not just like trying to push the most expensive thing on them, because some people don't need the most expensive thing, you know? Like, I mean, I always start and offer the deluxe, but like if it's somebody that I know is like struggling financially, then I'm looking at the whole person. I'm not just like, you know, like if I know, if they've expressed to me that they can only afford the bare minimum, then I want to, you know, I just want to know all the information before I talk price.
Yeah.
So that's how I go about it whenever that's somebody's first question. I tell them that I need to know a little bit more about them before I can let them know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah. Same here. It's like, well, before I get into like enrollment and what all that includes, I would love to learn a little bit more about you and your goals. You know, what type of goals do you have for yourself? Or, you know, would you mind if I just share a little bit more about the community piece of it before I got into like enrollment and stuff, and we can talk about goals? Like, I don't like going off the bat talking about price. Like, to me, like, that's just not my jam. Like, I feel weird doing it. And unless they are like one of my really good friends that already has an idea about coaching, she's like, okay, so tell me how much it costs. And I showed her the thing because I could. But most people, it's like, no. I need to get to know you and your goals, so I like know how to help you. But like, just don't offer them the price. Just be like, well, before I get into that, I really want to get to know you better. So what are your goals when it comes to health and fitness?
Okay, I really like that. I've never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of been, like, I've just kind of plateaued a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And so I like that a lot. I'm going to try that tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're running into and what you're going to continue to run into, and me too, is that you're eventually going to run out of people that you know personally.
Yeah.
The people that you know really well personally, you can jump straight to price because they know you, they already trust you. You know what I mean? Like, you already have built a trust relationship with them, so that those people know that you're not going to steer them wrong.
Yeah.
But you're going to be quickly running out of those people. Like, there's only so many people in Pleasant View.
I'm excited.
And half of them are mine.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Clarksville people are struggling with that too right now.
Yeah.
What's up, Kirsten?
So something that I wanted to add that I feel like has helped me break down the barrier of Instagram a bit, because I feel that sometimes talking through DMs can feel somewhat impersonal for many of us. Like, yes, of course, you can find your Instagram besties, your people there, but I've really started giving out my phone number a bit more. And of course, if you're not comfortable with that, don't do it. Keep it through Instagram. But for some reason, I feel that that shows people that I'm investing in them as a person, not just in terms of my business. Because I feel that often the way that we're portraying ourselves on Instagram, of course, is as coaches, is as these people who are trying to help others. And it seems very separate from us as a person who has feelings and a life and struggles and all those different things. And I had a girl who we were chatting back and forth through DMs, but once we started texting, she opened up to me even more. And I'm texting her right now and hoping to get her to enroll tonight. So I feel that just that breaking down that barrier has helped a lot. So if you feel that you are struggling to connect with people who you don't know and you're comfortable giving out your phone number, of course, once you've had that back and forth and you're gauging their interest and they seem interested, maybe try that. Maybe that'll be what really shows that you're investing in them.
I want to say too, offer to do, like, if you're not comfortable with that, maybe just do one of these Zoom calls. I, told the girl tonight, I was like, when it comes to because she wants to know about the coaching opportunity, not for, of course, everything else too, but she wants to know all the things about coaching. I said, I feel more comfortable like having face-to-face conversation. Like it's more natural for me. So when it comes to this type of thing, because I get really excited, it's hard for me to like express my excitement and stuff and explain things through text. And so she was totally down for it. Like she just texted me her phone number or sent me her phone number. So, it could be, Zoom. It could be just a one-on-one thing. Like I have done that with, let's see, Miriam. I don't know if anyone else is on here that I've done that with, but I've taken time to like talk to them before they've ever even enrolled. And that just shows like, I'm willing to invest in you. Like I'm pretty legit. I feel, if I'm taking time out of my night to like talk on a computer to you, like it's a big deal. And I feel like, for some, it's easier to talk to people in person than it is through DMs, and then vice versa. Some people are more comfortable talking through Messenger and things like that. But, think outside the box. Like if that's an opportunity, if you've got a couple people interested, ask them if they want to like have like one of these Zoom calls and you guys can all talk together, It doesn't have to be just through Messenger. All right. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like I've been talking so long. Like my old work days, talking all day. All right. Anything else, guys, that you would like to talk about or just share? Okay. Did this help? Okay, Allie says, okay. Yeah. Okay, I got some head shakes. Thanks, guys. Like, I don't bite.
If you want verbal feedback, I will tell you that I felt that this was extremely, extremely helpful.
Are you just?
No, I'm not BSing you. Shut up.
Okay, good. I haven't done one of these in a while.
I thought you lived in Tennessee.
Who?
You.
New Jersey.
You don't hear that Jersey accent?
Oh, I have a big time Jersey accent. I also live in South Jersey, which is a different accent from like Jersey, New York accent. I more have like a Philly accent.
Oh.
All I know is you sound like you're from the East Coast.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes.
Did I tell you I have a Jersey coach? I wonder if you guys live anywhere near each other.
Wait, say that again?
I have a coach that signed up under me that's from Jersey.
Oh, where is she from? Do you know?
I'll have to ask her, like, what actual town.
Yeah, I would
Her
love
name's
to know.
Ashley.
Okay, she was on last week. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she was on.
Chelsea, where are you from?
I'll let her tell you.
I'm queen of calling people out. I'm like, hey, girl, hey, where are you from?
Sorry, I got kids going to sleep and going nuts. I am from Clovis in California.
Okay, so you're out there near Alana,
the Valley,
right? No, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, friends with her. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We're all friends now, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, to me, it's like we've talked for the first time. We're instantly best friends. So beware for what's to come from me.
Love it.
Well, I really appreciate you guys hopping on and joining us. While I've got y'all on, I wanted to tell you guys next week we have a guest speaker, and I am super excited because she is one of my, like, I guess, coach sisters. She's underneath my coach as well, but she's got great energy. She's been doing this, I think, for 3 or 4 years now. Her name is Autumn Cheetalk. So if you guys want to go stalk her and you see what she's about, you guys are going to love her. She like is goals, like what I want to be when I grow up, when I'm 40. She's 40. And she's amazing, but she's going to be talking next week about really how to get through, like, you know, difficult times in your business. You know, how to dig deep when it gets, you know, difficult. And she really knows how to bring the heat. All right. And I feel like we always can get that. I think it's great for newer coaches as well to hear. And I'm just really excited. So it's every Thursday night at 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern, and I don't know the rest. But Abby, she spells it C-H-E. Let me just type it. I'm not in a spelling bee, Kayla. Like, chill out here. I'm going to put it here. Oh, it's trying to spell check it. There we go. Yeah. So, looks like Lauren is like getting beat up over there. I was like, she's like in pain. All right. Well, guys, what do we need to do, Krista Faith?
Take a picture.
All right. Let's take a picture.
I'm staying here in my bed though, so sorry for the bad light.
Look at me. I'm like looking all businessy, but really I'm just sitting up on pillows. All right, guys, we like to take pictures. So sorry, not sorry. All right, ready? I was going to say, Jesse, you better show your face, girl. All right, 1, 2, cheese. Like I'm talking to my kids. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed it and had as much fun as me. And I will share the slides in the page. And yeah, have a great night. Go and kick booty. Let's make this October octawesome. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.